Apostle. Paul is an apostle. What does apostle mean? Apostle is a Greek word. It comes from the Greek word apostello, and it means to send someone away from, to send someone out. So Paul, when he calls himself an apostle at the very beginning of his letter to the Ephesians, is saying that he was sent out, but there's something a little bit more behind it than that. In the New Testament, the word apostle is used in two basic ways, in a general way and in a more specific way. In a general way, we have someone like Barnabas called an apostle. In a more specific way, we have the 12 apostles that everybody knows about, the ones that included Judas, but who was then replaced by Matthias, and then the apostle Paul was added to that number of 12 to become number 13 a little bit later as he was on the road to Damascus. So when we think about an apostle in that more narrow sense, we're thinking about some key characteristics that need to be true of them. First of all, they are a witness to the risen Christ. So they have seen Jesus alive. The second is that they were specifically appointed or commissioned by Christ, that he sent them out as his apostles. And we know with the Apostle Paul, for example, that he saw Jesus on the road to Damascus, and Jesus commissioned him to be an evangelist, a missionary to the Gentiles. Another thing that was true of apostles is that they were given special authority to do signs and wonders. So the marks of an apostle, these special miracles. And Paul was given this blessing as well, that he was given the ability to do special miracles, which said, yes, this is one of God's special appointed, sent out people. Another thing that was true of the apostles is that they were asked by God to be his mouthpieces for the revelation of his word. So the Holy Spirit breathed in them the very words of God. So we have someone like the Apostle Paul, whose pen, or whose words as he would speak them and then someone else would write them down, would be the conduit for the very voice of God. And that's why Paul would say something like this at the beginning of a letter. He wants to remind the people that he is one of these special messengers who is conveying to them the truth of God directly. They can know that what he is about to say is not the words of men. It's the words of God himself. We need to know that as we hear things that may be challenging for us, as we hear things that are incredibly comforting for us. What a blessing it is to know that the man who put these words on paper is a man sent by God to be a mouthpiece, to bring God's words to our ears, to our eyes.